So between your renovation loans and your traditional mortgages, what are the difference between those two products? What can you do with one versus what you can't do with the other, if that makes sense?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So of course. So, one of the things that we want to keep in mind is that when a lender is looking to, finance a home, that property is the collateral for that money,
Right,
right? And so a lender is going to say, hey, if we're doing a standard loan, that house needs to be in certain condition, right? It needs to be in a certain condition. It needs to meet what they call like a minimum property standard.
right,
Okay. And so that means that all the electrical, all the plumbing, the air conditioning units, all the roof, all of those things need to be in workable order. And so and that's on a traditional loan.
right.
With a renovation loan, none of those things have to be in working order. And so you
Mhm.
may come across a house where the seller may be selling the house as is because maybe they don't have any money to fix it up, or maybe they just don't want to. The air conditioning's broke, or the roof needs to be repaired. And the seller saying, I don't have any money to do it. And so what happens is that, because a regular buyer is going to be passing that home up, that seller ends up probably selling that home to an investor
Right,
for a lot lower than what they probably could have gotten if they sold it to a regular buyer. But buyers are like, they're turned off. But if you go in as a buyer, you may be able to get that home at a really good price. And, it may not even be that much to do that work, to fix an air conditioning unit or repair a roof. You can incorporate that and you can add some more stuff. You can add some new countertops. You can add a whole new kitchen to, get all of that done and have the house that you really want without having to custom build it or, build it from the ground up. You can turn that house into a house that you really want.
Welcome to the I Triumph Real Estate Blueprint Podcast, where greatness awaits you.